أولياء الله الصالحين.
نعم.
And أولياء الله الصالحين are giving some of the karamat.
نعم.
And those karamat, are they continuous if they have it?
We know that there are the awliya to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The awliya is a general actually title to righteous people who lived in the past, and some of them perhaps they're living amongst us. Allahu a'lam, who is the true wali and who is not. So would Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provide them with karamat? The answer is it's possible. The possibility that they can be given karamat is true. But is everything that they receive is a sign of karamah? You know, some people like today, for example, they claim that they have these karamats. Such as, again, they hit themselves with these metal rods and around their waist, and some of them they put them in their cheeks and their noses and so on. And they say, you see, this is a karamah, which means this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they claim that Allah proves basically their level of righteousness or ibadah, that He spares their lives even though they hit themselves with that. Well, the answer to this is that we know there are non-Muslims who are pagans in some of these indigenous societies living in bushes and woods and so on, and they even make more than these things. So if this is only the sign of karama, then you have non-Muslims and all of those pagans worship idols who even can do more than these signs. So this is not sufficient to prove the karama of an individual. The karama actually, if it happens without them requesting that. People would recognize this for them. Today, is it possible? Karama is still possible, but we cannot identify that, by saying this is karama for this man and this is karama for this man without any legitimate proof that it would happen for people to see. So not just one or two would claim, oh, the sheikh, he did so and so. It has to be something that people actually can recognize. Wallahu a'lam. Naam, tafadhal.
Sheikh, you mentioned that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protecting the prophets.
Naam.
But we have many of the prophets, even major prophets, that they were killed.
Naam.
So how this can contradict?
We said that one of the miracles of the Anbiya is being protected and provided for by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What about Anbiya who were punished, who were actually basically were killed even? Like Yahya alayhi salam, he was killed by his own people. So what do you say about that? Well, we didn't say that all the Anbiya they had the same level of access to these miracles. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, تِلْكَ الرُّسُلُ فَضَّلْنَا بَعْضَهُمْ عَلَى بَعْض. The Anbiya or the Rusul were preferred, one above the other. So some of the Anbiya would have access to a lot of miracles, and others they will be limited based on their role in the society. Yahya alayhi salam was not given that actual miracle of protection. When the time was up, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed this to happen to him. Perhaps maybe to show us as an example in the Quran and Sunnah of the cruelty of those people who received the Anbiya and how ungrateful they were. So when we talk about them, we say these are qatlatul Anbiya. They killed the Anbiya. Wallahu a'lam. Sisters, if you have any questions?
Question online.
Go ahead. Question online.
Are there any miracles from the prophets that would teach people a lesson in the future? Example, Bani Israel.
The question is, are there any lessons from the Prophet ﷺ?
Are there any miracles?
Any miracles from the Prophet ﷺ?
That would teach people a lesson in the future?
That would teach people a lesson in the future.
Example is Bani Israel.
I'm still trying to understand what the question is. The example is Bani Israel. Does it mean that the Prophet ﷺ, he spoke so much about Bani Israel in vivid details to give us a lesson so that we do not follow their example? If this is actually the meaning of the question, then yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran in vivid details. The Prophet ﷺ, he gave also many details about Bani Israel for us to learn from their mistakes, not to follow their mistakes. So Allah, I don't know if actually this is the question. Yes.
So earlier you talked about karma, that some people come and claim, they can hit themselves or just but sometimes people claim karma, which is really hard, that you can actually think that it's true or not.
Like what?
I have even seen in the news that some guy's claiming that he sees Allah written on the roti that he cooked, or he gets the milk, and showing the, janaza.
The mu'jiza.
Yeah, mu'jiza. Still on TV, so.
This was shown on TV?
Yes. How do you, like you said earlier, that if righteous people get karama.
You're telling me that this man, he claims that he sees the name of Allah on the what?
When he cooked the naan bread.
When he cooks the naan?
Yeah, he cooks the bread,
and the name of Allah appears on it. MashaAllah.
So,
what does he do with that bread? Does he eat it?
No, he's on TV.
Allah understand. You see, subhanAllah, unfortunately,
some of these karama are so, you can get confused really easily because
You see, the problem with this, unfortunately, we are following the example of the people of the book, as the Prophet ﷺ said. Here in this society, every now and then, you hear in the news that some of the people, they saw the image of Isa alayhi salam appearing on a specific wall. I remember actually in Chicago, Illinois, there was a leak in a tunnel. And that leak of water starts, of course, trickles of the water goes on the wall. That it drew, according to them, the image of Isa alayhi salam. The people, they made a shrine over there. They put candles and so many things over there. Someone was in the hospital, and I don't know, maybe because of the reflection of the light, or maybe the early morning basically dew. So eventually, he saw the image of Isa alayhi salam. Reporters from the major actually TV station, they came there to take pictures, and just people, they start making Hajj. People literally, they would drive 50 miles and more than that just to come and visit that space. We don't need a paratha or a naan or a milk to provide us for evidence that the Prophet ﷺ is telling the truth or lie. All these signs, unfortunately, and people, they want to believe that, look, alhamdulillah, we have these miracles. Wallah, sometimes, I see on the internet, people, they bring a potato on the shape of the name Muhammad, or sometimes the fish has the name of Allah Azza wa Jalla on it. And I would say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would not necessarily send, these signs for us as miracles. We have more important miracles that are visible to us in the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, than we care about potato and tomato. So imagine when you go to call people about Islam and you tell them, listen, the potato testifies for that and the tomato testifies for that, or even the milk. This is not the way we prove our deen to be true. Wallahu a'lam. Sisters, do you have any question? Do they have the microphone?
They have it.
Okay. Yes.
Most of us basically here in the Western countries, we run into discussions with Christians and Jewish people, and they ask us that, that Musa alayhi salam had these miracles that we all know, and Isa alayhi salam has these miracles. There is no miracles after Muhammad, and at that time we say Quran is a miracle, but they say this is history. So, and then we come back like hundreds of years forward in future, and then we see some Sufis, and you must have heard about those guys, and there are a lot of miracles that their miracles are noted, and
Who testified for them?
that's the question.
Their own crowd, right?
This is in the books for the Sufis that they
I agree with you, but who wrote these books? Is there a third party who testifies to that? That's the problem. The neutrality over here becomes a question, because the source of documenting these signs is not neutral. But when it comes to the Quran, when you deal with Christians, like you're saying, and Jewish people saying that the Quran is a book of history, what about the natural discoveries, the miraculous nature of the Quran in terms of what the Quran says about some natural phenomena of our time? These are miracles. How about the linguistics of the Quran, and the Arabic language of the Quran itself? How about the miracle of this book being preserved word for word, letter for letter? Keep it history. You know what? Let's say it's history. Show me another book on earth where it has been preserved word for word, letter for letter. You know what? Not even just letter for letter. The intonation of the sounds, the vowels, fatha, dhamma, kasra, sukoon, being preserved accurately. So eventually, find me another book that has been protected to that extent. There is nothing like that. So if you're going to be saying this is a book of history, okay, fine. 1400 years and the book is still preserved. Evidence to this? Look at the manuscripts. You go all the way back to the time of the Sahaba radiallahu anhu, and it's exactly the same manuscript. In terms of recording, just recently, I don't know if you have seen that, I mentioned that earlier actually, before. They found that some recording that goes back to the Hajj back in the 1800s, of the early recordings, audio recordings. And there was a Hajj from Mecca who was reciting Surah Wal-Duha. So if you suspect that they might say the intonation of the sound is the same, but it's not, here's a recording that can be traced all the way back to the 1800s, and Surah Al-Duha is recited in the same professional rules of tajweed. So eventually we're going to discuss the Quran inshallah furthermore next week, perhaps or the week after that, Bidnillah Azza wa Jal. But if anyone claims a miracle, it has to be provided, through all, again, you have to have cross-examining to that miracle. If all the people who document these books from the same group, from the same sect, and these are the miracles of our ulama and our mashayikh, our leaders and so forth, then we need to have some third party to scrutinize that and prove it right or wrong. Wallahu ta'ala. Now, last question, inshallah. Yeah, I said your question. Go ahead.
I heard a prophecy that Prophet ﷺ said the city of Rome will be under the banner of Islam.
No.
Is it true?
That is true. It's one of the prophecies of the future, inshallah. We're going to discuss these issues as signs of the Day of Judgment when we come to that part.
The city of Rome or the Roman people?
He says that the city itself. No. But that's what we're discussing, inshallah, for the future. Wallahu ta'ala. Khair, inshallah ta'ala. Next week, when we come back, we will be discussing the signs of prophethood, continue with that, and then the messages of the Anbiya. Subhanakallah wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.